I'm here with Thelevisalazer. We're doing an interview with Bobby Cyrus. Bobby is a local singer and songwriter, native here of Lawrence County, Kentucky. Somebody who's been in the music business for many, many years. And actually, Bobby and I went to school together. He's 2 or 3 probably years younger than me. We won't say how old that is. But anyway, we're here with Bobby. He just recently moved back here to Lawrence County, and he is planning on moving his Cyrus Family Theater, a company that he had in Pigeon Forge for a while. He's moving it back here, and we're excited to talk to him about that here today. So, Bobby, first of all, it's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Tickled to see you again. Glad you're back home. And
it's good to be here.
And if you could just tell
good to be anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we started down in Pigeon Forge with the Cyrus Family Theater over a year ago, and the whole idea was to bring awareness to East Kentucky, because that was a lot of our shows, talking about the country music highway and all the people that come from here. Our heritage, our Appalachian roots. I always tell everybody I'm an Appalachian American.
Yeah.
And to have a place to settle down and play and to perform and for my wife to get to perform and just bring. We've had a lot of folks from East Kentucky down there. We just had Tony Ramey down there, Rob McNerlin, Billy Goldsmith.
Yeah.
My old football coach, Lawrence County High School. I think Billy was just here at Lawrence County.
He was just
and he became our MC and our house comedian. He's so good. And so we've done a little Grand Ole Opry kind of show down there and everything. And it's a great town, but there's just so much to do. And we become number 5 out of 140 some attractions last year, our first year out. So we're very proud of that. But it just, you know, home kept yearning. You know, all the time. I'd come home and I'd be in Nashville, be in Pigeon Forge. I called it the Bermuda Triangle. And I was running myself to death. And so my wife and I, you know, we decided, you know, we need to get things more in a closer geography here.
Yeah.
It's just too much. Because I have to be in Nashville, you know, with the writing and the producing and all that stuff. So we just decided that it was time to bring it home. And home needs it. Our area needs it. Our musicians, our songwriters, our tourists, our tourism people,
yeah.
Our hometown folks, they need this. They need the music, and we need. I graduated here in 1987, and I grew up here, and I, you know, we were talking about a while ago that I played the first. Me and my young band. At the time, we played at the first Potato Festival.
Yeah.
Or the second one.
A lot of people don't know what that is.
I know, but that was the September Fest back in that day.
Before it was September.
Yeah, and then it becomes September Fest pretty quick.
Yeah.
And so, you know, my roots go deep in this. All the folks that have come out of our hometown and the people that are in place now as politicians,
right.
You know, that are making things happen, like you said. And it's changing things. It's changing everything. I've never seen my hometown this live.
What, for those of us who haven't seen one of your shows yet, when you had it in Pigeon Forge, what kind of shows do you do and what does it consist of?
Well, our shows, we've got several things that we plan on doing. One of the first things that we'll be doing here really soon, on the 13th of August, if good Lord willings and the creeks don't rise, is called The History and Mystery of the Country Music Highway. And it basically, it's a video production. It's kind of like watching a TV show. It starts out with this voiceover, and you see the camera panning around and to the old farm, our Cyrus home place, out on Greenbrier. And then it shows me getting an old 77 Chevy truck ready to hit the country music highway and take the audience down the road to see where Loretta came from, Ricky Skaggs, Keith Whitley, the Judds, Billy Ray, Patty Loveless, Dwight Yoakam, and we go through these towns, and when I get them there, when I finally get you there, you're like in the truck with me, and when I get you there, then the documentary from the Kentucky Country Music Hall of Fame, they lended us all their documentaries. That documentary will start on that artist. A singer comes on stage and sings a live version of that artist, a couple of their hits. And in between that, there's a little bit going on. We have Barney Fife that is chasing me up and down the country music highway, trying to convince me of how good of a singer he is, and he's trying to get me taken to Nashville. And so you'll see some familiar spots where Barney is hanging out, and he's singing in front of Old Webb's store up there.
Yeah.
Up on Five Forks, there's a bait shop not too far from my farm, and we actually have him. He's there singing, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of great information. Everybody that's seen it is just blown away with it. And it was actually a song that Tom T. Hall and I wrote called "There Must Be Something in the Water." That show originally kind of came from that idea, because we used to do a generic version in Pigeon Forge last year. We'd set up like a living room on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
And we would all sit there, me and Rob McNarland, my wife, and a couple other singers, and go through the artists and tell stories about them and sing their songs. Well, this guy, seeing what we were doing, he's from Winchester, Kentucky, and he thinks, hey, that's a great idea. And so he expounds on that and creates this big production, and brings it to me and says, what do you think? Will you help me do this? So he produced this great show, History and Mystery Country Music Highway. And so it's great. We're really excited about it. And I've known the guy for a lot of years because I lease his buses, tour buses, to go do concerts. His name's Frank Kennan. And but it's a great show. So we're real excited about that. Still do the Grand Ole Opry style of show, where we have a lot of different artists come in, some comedy from country, bluegrass, gospel music. We'll have times where we do a gospel fest, a bluegrass fest, a country fest. We're going to have opportunities for people to learn how to get songs published, how to write a song, how to play a guitar. A lot of education will be going through the theater. There's just a whole plethora of things that we're going to bring to East Kentucky. But one of the biggest things is we want to blow that trumpet really loud where everybody knows we're here and knows what is here. And when they come into town, they're going to have a place to go and hear music 7 days a week.
Now, speaking of your show, and that you're getting ready to start next week, where is it going to be, and what's the plans for a home for this theater?
The Lawrence County Community Center is where we're going to start, and that's a great facility. If you've never been there, you've got to go see this place. And it's just a great place. So that's where we're going to start the History and Mystery of the Country Music Highway show, August 13th, Thursday night.
That's great. You have more plans in the works besides just the theater shows, what you just talked about. What other things do you have in mind for additions to this and long-term goals? Yeah, well,
one of the things we are talking to the gentleman here in town that owns Garden Theater, and that is a high consideration right now. We're in that for a lot of reasons. And I know that theater needs to be alive. It needs music in it. It needs drama in it. It needs plays and children's theater and adult theater. That's something else we're going to get into too, is promote that and help facilitate those types of things. It needs to be, our downtown area needs that. It really does. And people can come and be a part of that. We have a long-term plan, which that is in that plan, as you know, and we're talking about that. We want that place to come live. We want to be a part of making that happen and doing shows. A long-term plan too. We want a facility on Country Music Highway where people can pull off of the interstate, drive into a parking lot, and there you are.
Yeah.
When my boys graduated high school up here in Orange County, the oldest one done the invocation at his senior graduation. Then the youngest one 3 years later done the benediction at his.
Wow.
And as a father, your children, when they come to that age that they accept God in their life and become a Christian, there's nothing more proud. All the cords they had on their necks and all that stuff was great. But watching them be recognized by the faculty and their peers to ask them to do such a thing was amazing to me. So I sat there and I thought about that for a long time, and I thought about the life I had with my father and growing up and moments in my life with him, and came up with the song. May 1st, 1969, she looked at him and said, "It's almost time." He got the car, they drove real fast. When they reached the hospital, they took her straight back. It wasn't long, the doctor held me up high. You should have seen the look in my daddy's eyes. He said, "That's my boy, he's my son, and he's the best thing in this life that I've ever done. He'll always be my pride and joy, and I'm always proud to say, that's my boy." Well, I was playing third base. The ball came at me like a rocket. I put my blood down, I tried my best, but I couldn't stop it. The coach came yelling and screaming in a rage. You should have seen the look on my daddy's face. He said, "That's my boy, he's my son, and he's the best thing in this life that I've ever done. He'll always be my pride and joy, and I'm always proud to say, that's my boy." Sitting in the gym on graduation night, thinking about the last 18 years of my life. I watched him walk up to the microphone. As he gave the invocation, he was steady and strong. I said, "That's my boy, he's my son, and he's the best thing in this life that I've ever done. He'll always be my pride and joy, and I'm always proud to say, that's my boys."
Thank you. Thanks, Bobby.
Thank you so much. Thank you.